Yusuke Yatsuya might be one of the most pathetic losers ever, who genuinely believes he can be as cool as Sasuke just by trying to act like him. It turns out he'll eventually get the chance to have a blondie boy for himself, but for now, let's explore how he subtly won over the most popular girl in school with his brooding roleplay. At school, Yusuke plays it cool, keeping to himself and adhering to his belief that all humans are worthless, and since he's human too, that makes him worthless as well. Perhaps things could have been different if his father had come back with the milk. Each day after school, he spends his time in front of the TV, playing some life-draining RPG on his knockoff PlayStation, hoping to be carried by some random player online. Afterward, he heads to bed with a sock and his phone, browsing pictures of Yushindo, the most popular girl in his class, until he falls asleep. One day in class, Yusuke notices Shindo talking to a classmate and wonders if they're close, as he's never seen them together before. After class, his teacher warns him to start thinking about his future plans for high school. However, Yusuke is too preoccupied with his game to care about school, and his teacher essentially calls him a coward for never voicing his true feelings. He needs to submit a form the next day. As he's about to leave, he notices Shindo and another student have cleaning duty and plans to lock up after them. But when he turns around, they've already disappeared. Suddenly, he hears a creepy laugh. The board behind him fills with chalk drawings. The floor becomes colorful, and he starts panicking as if he's on drugs. Then he's abruptly teleported and finds himself falling from the sky into a pond. Confused, he looks up and sees a giant tentacle monster straight out of an anime fantasy, ready to attack him. At that moment, Shindo and Hakazaki appear, and Yusuke feels a hand on his shoulder. He turns around to see a half-faced man who introduces himself as the game master and struggles to finish his sentences. Yusuke panics, and the game master explains the instructions for their next quest. The game master presents a board detailing that they must complete the village chief's request within the next 14 days. A progress sheet shows this is the third quest, with the first two completed by defeating a goblin and discovering 2 settlements. Yusuke complains incessantly, leading Shindo to kick him, but to his surprise, he doesn't feel any pain. They need to complete 8 more mini-quests before the main quest, and each quest completed will add a new member to their team, culminating in a final quest requiring 10 people. The game master introduces his fellow members, Shindo, the level 3 wind wizard, and Hazaki, the level 1 sword warrior. To determine Yusuke's role, a wheel is spun, and while his teammates hope he lands on warrior, he ends up as a farmer, much to their dismay. The game master then disappears, and they return to their new world in their unique role outfits. Shindo explains she was the first to be teleported and given a quest from the game master, and after completing it, she was able to return to the real world, where she received a new quest to befriend Hakazaki. Their mission is to spend time alone with Yusuke in a room. Shindo then instructs him to squint his eyes, and to his surprise, a game-like menu appears that he can interact with. He browses his nearly empty inventory and finds a level 2 hoe and a level 1 sickle. Everyone has role-specific weapons and gear that only they can use. Shortly after, they come across a glowing green circle, and Yusuke asks what it is. Shindo tells him it's a log point that stores past events, which can be viewed by touching it. Yusuke interacts with it and sees the moment Hakazaki first appeared in this world, crying about her inability to complete the quest. Hakazaki defends herself as they find a group of goblins nearby, and Yusuke charges at them. Unfortunately, he discovers he's as weak as a bug, with his sickle breaking in one hit without causing any damage. Panicking, he turns to his teammates for help, and Shindo casts a wind spell that only gives the goblin a gentle breeze. At level 3, her spell is about as effective as a hair dryer. Hakazaki tries to pick up her sword but finds she can't use weapons that don't belong to her, so Yusuke decides to fight on his own with his trusty hoe. However, the goblin quickly dispatches him with a single blow to the head. He respawns as a ghost and realizes he has a 30-second death penalty. When he returns, he asks Shindo to create a small sandstorm with her magic while he stabs the goblin with his stick, letting himself be killed once more. He understands he needs to keep wearing down the goblin as they fight him. Eventually, He revives and Shindo praises him for his bravery, calling him a brave idiot. Yusuke then asks what happens if they all die at once, and Shindo reveals that if that happens, they will die in real life. This revelation makes Yusuke more cautious and strategic in his fighting. At night, he checks his broken gear and learns it will take 5 days to regenerate. They decide to head to the western village to work on the quest. Yusuke inquires about the reward for completing the quest, and they tell him it's a chance to ask one question of the game master. Shindo's question was why she was chosen, and she learned it was because someone she knows requested it. Hakazaki asked who the game master was, and he revealed they come from the distant future. Yusuke wonders what he should ask the game master, and they all get some rest. One night while camping near the village, Yusuke wakes up to goblins attacking them. He fights them off, but then hears Hakazaki's voice. Turning around, he sees half of her on the ground and looks up to see a troll holding Shindo. Shindo tells him to run because it's an unwinnable fight. The troll devours her, and realizing that if he dies it's game over for everyone, Yusuke grabs Hakazaki and runs as fast as he can, with just 30 seconds remaining until she revives the next day. Hakazaki is critically injured after the troll devours her, and it becomes evident that Shindo won't be revived until they defeat the troll. With Yusuke's attack power at 0 and Hakazaki only slightly better, their chances of success seem slim. They decide to head to the village, hoping to complete the quest without Shindo and find another way to bring her back. However, upon meeting the village chief, they learn that they must first deal with the giant troll threatening the area. Realizing they have no other option, Yusuke decides to take matters into his own hands. He tells Hakazaki to stay safe within the village and warns her that he can't afford to die just yet. With a determined smile, he sets off, finding this new challenge much more exciting than his dull life in Tokyo. In the forest, Yusuke discovers a log point and interacts with it. He overhears a conversation between Shindo and Hakazaki discussing potential new members for their group. Shindo mentions a preference for Yusuke to join them, which gives Yusuke hope. However, he remembers there are 2 Yusukers in their class and wonders which one Shindo meant. Just as he's about to find out more, he sneezes, causing the log point to disappear. Refocusing on his goals, Yusuke entertains the possibility of a harem situation, believing that one of the girls might eventually confess to him. With this thought in mind, he intensifies his training and discovers a forest with a view of the village. There, he encounters a horde of goblins and begins fighting them. To enhance his performance, he channels his childhood traumas into his anger, leveling up to rank 9. Unfortunately, he narrowly misses rank 10 when one of the injured goblins manages to escape. While contemplating his chances against the troll, Yusuke is shocked to receive a notification that Hakazaki is dead, her survival timer frozen, just like Shindo's. Perplexed about how she could have died in a safe zone, he looks towards the village and sees it in flames. Racing back, he wonders how she managed to set the village ablaze when he only asked her to stay safe. Upon arrival, he finds a log point revealing that the troll attacked the village and that Hakazaki died while trying to protect an NPC. He also learns that Hakazaki had always aspired to study medicine but was unable to due to financial constraints. Despite her efforts to be useful, Yusuke feels disheartened. He looks up and sees the troll standing before him. Attempting to flee, he is thrown away like a ragdoll by the troll. Fortunately, he lands in a river, reflecting on Hakazaki's unfulfilled dreams and her family's financial struggles. Realizing that she was far more capable and stronger than he is, Yusuke vows not to let someone so valuable die in vain. As the troll continues to chase him, their encounter turns into a frantic pursuit. Yusuke realizes he can't run forever and begins to lose hope. Just then, he spots the injured goblin from earlier. He throws his stick at it, gaining enough experience to level up to rank 10. Upon reaching rank 10, time stops, and the game master appears with his wheel. After spinning it, Yusuke is granted the rare role of chef. Although initially worried, he soon discovers that this role allows him to wield a blade and grants him a powerful ability to reveal monster weak points. With the game master gone and time resuming, Yusuke charges forward and slashes through the troll's stomach, reviving his friends, Shindo and Hakazaki. Reunited, they confront the troll but initially struggle, getting easily overpowered. Undeterred, they persist and eventually manage to exhaust the troll. Yusuke delivers the final blow by slicing from inside the troll's stomach, while Shindo uses a wind spell to finish it off. They finally defeat the troll. The Game Master appears again to congratulate them on completing the quest. They receive XP rewards and level up significantly, although Shindo is frustrated with her modest 2-level increase. The Game Master allows Yusuke to ask one question. Yusuke inquires about what happens after the final mini-quest. The Game Master shows a vision of their town in the future, battling a colossal dragon dinosaur monster.